Music Buzz Live Radio. We're back here. Chad Drew.
What's up?
CT. We are going to get into tonight's Pot Talk, powered by Evergreen Apothecary and Mary's Medicinals. And tonight what we're going to do is a kind of in-house round table about topics, because it's been a big week in pot news, and we just want to get our knowledge up and our opinions out.
Definitely.
So, Chad, take it
away. So
basically,
topic number one is that they're this week in Maine, I believe it was, they basically threw in some stuff into the Senate to say that they're going to start regulating it a lot more like alcohol for voters to start trying to. They want to have that on the ballot for voters so that they can in November on the next vote to be able to regulate marijuana like alcohol, which is pretty crazy.
That's awesome.
But then on top of that, they also introduced a bill called, it kind of looks like Careers, but I think it's Carers. Careers. It's a bill that was introduced by a couple of the senators into Congress, where basically, how in a nutshell, it talks about how the federal government is just not going to step in to where, however, the state laws are written. So my question to you kind of would be, which do you think would be better, man?
You know, I think that a bill to regulate it like alcohol and tax it is what needs to happen.
What needs to happen?
That's what's working in Colorado.
And I think that that's true, too. I kind of actually agree with the Carers Act, where I think that it's kind of up to the different states and stuff, and I think that most places or most states are probably going to vote it into being able to be, you know, taxed and everything like alcohol. But I do think that when it comes to like the red states that might not ever do it, or some of the other states that just want to make it medicinally, like they're talking about North Carolina's never going to do it, you know, because that's their views in that state. But, you know, even if you had it just on the medical side of things to make it so that limited few patients could go ahead and register that way, I think that's a good way to do it too, you know, so...
Yeah, you know, it'll definitely have its pluses, that's for sure.
For sure. And another thing that was really cool, a lot of people will remember Ricky Williams from the NFL.
Yep.
So he actually was the one that Mike Ditka actually sacrificed all of his draft picks for to be able to get to the Saints. He had a good long stint on the Dolphins, and he actually got fined I think it was $600,000 as a player for testing positive with marijuana. And then he actually had to serve a 4-game suspension on top of that. So he actually spoke out about how the NFL needs to readdress the medical marijuana issue.
I saw that, and yeah, and his argument was that it's how he stayed sane and calm through his career.
For sure.
You know, and it kept his head straight.
And I believe it was is it Nate Jackson, the former Bronco?
No, that's who I was thinking of, was Nate Jackson.
Nate Jackson definitely, you know, made it pretty, you know, illuminated how in between games, that's medical marijuana is the only thing that some of the guys could use to be able to, you know, suppress the pain or deal with all of the collisions that they got going on. But then to have someone like Ricky Williams, whose career basically got busted because of marijuana. This guy was set to set some records, I think, and then he's not in the league anymore because of marijuana. So I think having like a big organization company within America taking off with the popularity of NFL, who already kind of politically runs rules and, you know, talking about like wife beating and stuff last year and everything, they kind of set the precedent for America when it comes to, you know, the different rules and how to regulate it within your company in a way, you know?
Yeah, totally.
And I think that having a big company such as that to be able to endorse marijuana for the athletes that definitely need it, medically, I think that that's a huge step in the right direction.
Yeah, it's probably going to be a long time before anything happens, but
yeah, for sure.
You know, at least the conversation's happening.
Right. And I also wanted to, dude. I also wanted to show everybody this.
Yeah, let's see this.
Some people have been asking about this.
It's crazy.
So this thing here, I'm gonna put it up to this camera over here and see if you guys can check it out. But this is, there it is. Whoop! Look at that. Open vape. So there's 4 different cartridges that are in it, dude. Right?
It's crazy.
We've talked about this on the show recently with some of the open vape guests like Axie and whatnot.
Yeah.
So you basically take 4 of these guys and throw it into what they were calling the Gatling gun, remember?
Because one isn't enough.
Yeah, I mean,
'cause
you
one's not enough.
gotta say, like, honestly, like, what is the point?
Well, so basically how this is this is tested a lot closer to cannabis. Each pen is tested a lot closer to the potency of cannabis. So if you have 4 of them, then you're getting closer to like a dab, which is kind of a new thing that everybody's kind of enjoying these days. I guess it's not too new, but it's basically where you're taking bong rips of concentrates. So this is like a nice little fun way to do it. Anyway, I wanted to show off this.
It's definitely crazy. It's like a open vape blunt.
Hold it up one more time.
And you can actually go to openvape.com. You can see OpenVape right there. You can go to openvape.com and order that piece right there online. Now, you can't obviously get any of the medicine that's in there or anything, but since that doesn't have medicine to it, they can ship that online along with the batteries too. So
cool.
I always love it. It's a good hit.
It's like the ultimate salad bowl.
Before we end the show, since we're doing Pot Talk, I want to bring up a prior guest that we had. We had Foria in here. They give us a little gift bag, and there's some sensual lubrication in this little vial. So
I think a lot of
Julie
people like
smiling
Foria
in the background.
Yeah, I liked it.
I think that a lot of people were pretty interested in what's going on over at Foria. Exactly. Hashtag legalize orgasms. You gotta love that. And yeah, that's been selling like hotcakes since the show. So make sure you come into Evergreen Apothecary, Colorado Harvest Company. Mention World Viral TV, and we'll give you 10% off of a Foria.
Yeah.
Did you guys have a chance to check out your?
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
I'll speak to the goodness.
Checking mine out right now.
All right, Chris.
Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight. It's been a wonderful program as always. We'll see you next week, same time, same place. Check out Evergreen Apothecary. Snag yourself a discount on some Mary's Medicinals. Rub that shit on your knees. It's great. We'll see you next week on Music Buzz Live Radio. Here's an idea. Let's take a well-known local music editor, stick him in a room with a couple hot chicks, Evergreen Apothecary's Chad Drew,
the quintessential stoner,
and then we'll force him to watch some videos of an uncensored, cracked-out motel shit show from next door. Sound awesome?
I like it.
Tune into Music Buzz Live Radio Wednesdays, 6 to 8 p.m. right here on World Viral TV.
World Viral.